Hello, true duelists. My name's Craig Fee, and welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Single Card History, a series where I talk about some of the cards that have impacted Yu-Gi-Oh! Throughout the years, and some of the other ones that really didn't at all. Today's card, one of the goofiest ones in the game, and kind of a fan favorite despite the fact that it has not seen play, it's Linear Equation Cannon. Linear Equation Cannon was first released in Blazing Vortex in 2021 as a lowly peasant rare, which is its one and only printing to date as I make this video. It's never been on the ban list, and it's a simple normal trap, which effect reads, during the battle phase, declare a whole number from 1 to 6. Choose one effect monster your opponent controls, multiply the effect monster's level times the declared number. Then add the number of cards your opponent controls and check if the result equals the number of cards in your graveyard. If yes, send cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard up to the declared number, and if you do, shuffle cards your opponent controls into the deck up to the number set to the graveyard. If no, you lose life points equal to the declared number times 500. You can only activate one Linear Equation Cannon per turn. What a fantastic card. This is as much of a trap card as it is a linear equation. Straight up, just a math problem. Y equals mx plus b. You literally apply that formula to this card to get the answer, to get the result you want. Or don't want, I guess, if you want to burn yourself. All with a lovely Yu-Gi-Oh! Themed twist. How quaint. And of course, by twist, I mean a board wipe of sorts, or damage. There's definitely a joke in here about this card damaging you always, no matter what, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are too stupid to read, let alone do the math. But if this is what it takes to get kids to learn math, then I'm not entirely against it. In terms of the equation, Y will be the number of cards in your graveyard when you activate this card. M will be the whole number you pick from 1 to 6, X will be the selected monster's level, and B will be the number of cards your opponent controls. So if you have 10 cards in your graveyard, and the opponent only controls 2 cards, both of which are level 4 monsters, you can select one of those monsters and declare 2 as your whole number. Then, punching in those numbers, it would be 10 equals 2 times 4 plus 2. Because the number you declare is 2 and the level is 4, the multiplication will get you 8, and they control 2 cards, so plus 2, so 10 does in fact equal 10. Your math checks out because you follow PEDMAS or BEDMAS or Dick Suck or whatever it's called these days, and boom, you get the right answer and you get to shuffle away up to 2 cards. You did it. Congratulations, you applied the card correctly. It's simple enough math, you just have to do the math in your head and, monitor all the variables, because technically you can know all the variables in advance to stay ahead of the math constantly throughout the duel, but at that point, quite simply, you're a psychopath. Because if you assume that M in the equation can only be 1 through 6 for the whole numbers, which is correct, and it's safe to assume that the level will always be between 1 and 12, because technically a monster can be higher than level 12 through card effects, such as say Unizombie targeting a level 12 monster, or FA cards, and you can get 13 or higher, technically infinite, I suppose, but before some hero comes flying in here to tell me that that can't be the case, go look at the text on FA Motorhome Transport that says level 13 or higher, and then shut the fuck up, because it's possible. But for the most part, it'll only be 1 through 12 in the overwhelming majority of duels. Outside of like 3 matchups, I guess. I don't know. And then the last variable is going to be the number of cards in your graveyard, which I suppose is between 1 and like 73 if you play a 60 card deck and then have all of your extra deck and all of your deck except for this and 1 card to mill. Right? And I think that checks out. Either way, as long as you stay on top of all of those variables and numbers, you can always just do the math in your head to be able to shuffle away cards. You only have to, select the monster with a level that the opponent has and put on the field for you, which is a variable you can't control, not to mention the number of cards they control, which is then a variable you can't really control. You can influence it a little bit, but you don't have a real proper say in that. And then you just have to make sure that you're not dealing with exclusively Xyz or Link monsters, because this can shuffle away the Link or Xyz monsters once it's resolved, but it can't select those as the choice because they don't have levels, which is cool. At this point, someone usually will comment to the effect of like, well, actually, it's actually a pretty good card, because when you remember that Predator plans can make everything level 1, so you always have a variable of 1 on the Predator plan counter, and then you just need to monitor the number of cards that control your grid. It's like, yes, There are things you can do to try and influence this card to make it better. However, you could try instead to make your deck better by not playing it, as has been the case throughout this entire game's history that this card has been around, because there's no tops with this. I can't believe it. No one's done the fucking Y equals MX plus B in the middle of a duel. It's shocking to see that that doesn't get you to a YCS. Forget these challenges about like, I'm gonna top a YCS with Crystal Beast. Nah, man, I wanna see someone resolve this shit to conclusion effectively on a feature match of a YCS. That's a fucking challenge, okay? Because to No Shock, yeah, no one's playing it. It's not going to see play at any real point in any serious competitive duel because it requires so many things that are out of your control. The opponent's monster's level, the number of cards they control, and even realistically, the number of cards in your graveyard, because you, again, influence it, but if the opponent activates Dark Hole, it can throw off the whole equation. Or Torrential Tribute, maybe a little more immediately, you know, because you walk into it. I'm just saying, I don't think I've ever known the exact number of cards in my graveyard at any given time. Maybe in the early duel, if I've just dropped an Ash or something, but I think you know what I mean. Like, by turn 3, who fucking knows? This is just a very long-winded way for me to say, this shit ain't seeing play and it ain't really resolving. I guess I can talk about how you could improve this card, such as say, make it work in the main phase and not just in the battle phase. Or, hey, why not make it work for the rank or link rating as well as the level? You know, the obvious shit. But no. That's not what this card is about at the fundamental level. It's not about doing well in a duel and winning it for you. It's about shoving Y equals MX plus B into a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh duel. Arbitrarily, out of nowhere. Why? How was this printed? Who approved it? Why aren't they making more cards? The only way I think you can improve this is to make the formula even stupider. Throw this shit in, okay? Pokemon fans have been doing that inadvertently for years. Why don't we just throw it in a duel now? Why the hell not? Can you give me a valid reason not to? I assume you can give me plenty, but I'm still arguing for it. Here's a reason. This card has seen play in exactly 0 decks that have topped in the years it's been around, and it's because it's not a functionally good card. But it goes beyond that. It's a fucking great card because it's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. It's a bullshit game with bullshit effects and bullshit card design. You want more cards than me? You know what? I'll banish them all face down. That's the consequence for you playing this game. Hope you have a fucking negate up. You stop doing that. You don't get to have cards in the game. 7 negate board through any hand trap? Fucking run it. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! We just do things. But make sure you're super annoying if you're running the 7 negate board through any hand trap on Twitter, because that is the key tenet of playing Pendulum, apparently. It's fucking 17 dragons, 43 anime girls minimum. It's just bullshit nonsense. That's all this game is, and let's just throw some linear equations in. Honest to God. MathMech players could only dream of something this goddamn impressive. I love it. It's stupid. I'm never gonna play it, but it's funny. I like that it exists in the game. It's Konami having a little bit of fun within the confines of the game, and I enjoy it. It's at least something worth talking about, as opposed to, say, something like Tilted Try, a field spell that was also a common from Blazing Vortex that you completely forgot fucking existed, or weren't even aware existed until I put it on the screen right now, okay? There's nothing to say about that piece of shit. At least Linear Equation has something going for it. And it's to combat the reading allegations. Konami giving us basic algebra instead. I don't know. And I'm not looking it up, actually. I don't know if it's algebra or not. I don't care. I've already said it. It's in the script. And that's why I'm a true duelist. I'm not looking at things, and I'm not going to read the things I'm not going to look at. Boom. So, oh my. And so that's the look at Linear Equation Canon. Thank you so much for watching. Hit subscribe if you would kindly. Not only will you impress your smoking Italian wife, you'll immediately become a true duelist. Go ahead and leave a comment for what card you want me to do next. And that's it. I will see you next time in the next video, whenever that is. Bye.